We haven't been down to Canberra yet, or Parliament House at least, in this program. Let's cross down there now because Parliament's been sitting today, and I'm joined by National Senator for Victoria, Bridget McKenzie. Good to talk to you, Bridget. There's a bit to talk about. I want to talk about your colleague Craig Kelly in a moment, but just on the sports rorts affair, which of course is the reason you're no longer a minister. I see some reporting today in The Guardian, I think it was, that a Labor-aligned law firm, Morris Blackburn, with I think Josh Bornstein is a fairly prominent leftist figure, is still pushing a court case in this arena. What's going on here, and how much more is to play out in this affair?
Well, thanks, Chris. Great to be with you. Happy New Year. Yes, first week back in Parliament. We've got a fair bit of ledge through, and looking forward to the next 2 weeks in Canberra. But the sports grants Senate inquiries ongoing. I'll be appearing before that next Friday. Having submitted an almost 6,000-word comprehensive submission in April last year. So assisting the Senate with their inquiries, obviously, and there does seem to be a legal case going on in Melbourne.
Yeah, so the Senate inquiry is where the political action will be, and it looks to me like there's some politics involved in that legal case too. We'll keep an eye on that because there could be more ramifications, although you're out of your job now as a result of that affair. I want to ask you, particularly from a nationals perspective, how you feel about Australia signing up to net zero carbon emissions by 2050. Is there anything meaningful in that statement?
Oh, look, Chris, we've talked about this a lot, and obviously it's an issue we in the National Party feel very strongly about. I personally think we should tread very lightly on the earth, be very good stewards of the resources that we've been gifted. But I won't be signing up to a plan, and the Nationals won't be signing up to a plan that negatively impacts agriculture, mining or manufacturing jobs, which are all predominantly out in our electorates. So pursue whatever target you like, but I'm much more concerned with the outcomes of any target. So I'll be making sure that the plan, when it is developed, ensures that our Australian agriculture, manufacturing and mining industries and the families that work in those are not going to be paying the ultimate price as a result of appeasing inner city voters and indeed the broader international community. Because if you look at the plans that have been developed thus far, Labor doesn't have one. Internationally, there's 120-odd countries that have signed up to this thing. Only 16 of them have actually developed a plan. Many of those nations are actually able to avail themselves of nuclear power with zero emissions to actually assist them with that target. But it is, at the end of the day, in all of these plans, as we saw under Labor when they tried to put their carbon tax in, that it is the communities of regional Australia that will be impacted and the industries that underpin those communities and indeed our national economy, and we won't be putting up with that.
Yeah, well, it's good to hear because there seems to be a dangerous misconception being put about by many on the right of politics that you can sort of say net zero by 2050, sign up to it, it's meaningless, no one's going to be around in politics still by then anyway. But once you sign up to that target, the onus is actually, as you say, to demonstrate a practical, deliverable plan to get there, and there will be an economic cost in that.
Absolutely, Chris. And, you know, I didn't get into politics and most of my colleagues didn't get into politics to play trite political games around electoral cycles. We actually came into this place to deliver for our communities a sustainable and prosperous future way beyond our time in politics. And that means making tough decisions now to protect our prosperity and the industries that have underpinned it. I mean, you know, technology, I believe, when applied in a rational and reasonable common sense way, will actually provide the solution. It always has for our species. We don't use whale oil anymore to light our streets. And I'm absolutely confident that we have the brains right across the globe to solve the emission issue, and therefore it should not come at a cost to the communities that I represent and the National Party cares about.